Welcome to Estero Today, produced by Engage Estero. I'm your host, Mike Wasson. It's the end of January. Seasonal residents are back in town. Traffic, once again, is even a bigger problem. And next week, we'll be into February already. And the seasonal events will be in full swing. Of course, the Everblades are still skating at Hertz Arena, trying to make the playoffs. Everblades hockey is a great sporting event for Southwest Florida. They have won the Kelly Cup in 3 of the last 4 years. Will they do it again? We'll see. And then, of course, college basketball is in full swing as well. FGCU, both the men's and women's basketball, is on the court. If you like sports, they have provided great fun over the past few years. And with February next week, it won't be long before the baseball teams from the north will be coming south to take advantage of our warmer weather. I believe you can already buy tickets for the games that start later in February. Both the Boston Red Sox and the Minnesota Twins do spring training just to Estero's north. I always try to get a couple tickets to games. It's a great opportunity to see professional baseball, and it's much more cost effective and always more enjoyable because you're so close to see the game in the stadiums down here. Now, if you're just coming down and you haven't been here since last April or May, you are probably noticing something else that's new. There is construction and dirt moving everywhere. Recently, there was an article in Engage Estero newsletter about a few of the major projects, and I'd like to review some of those with you. On US 41, north of Broadway, on the east side of 41, cleared land marks the beginning of a new FL Star residential community. The current plan includes 3 mid-rise buildings, with about 100 homes, each along with 10 townhomes. There'll be approximately 300 residents in total. 2 of the main buildings will be mixed use, featuring small shops or services on ground floors and homes above. Later phases are expected to add a pool, pocket park, and pickleball courts. Downtown Estero, but that was the original branding. That branding now has been dropped. Expect a neighborhood that's comfortable and village style rather than a large urban center. Of course, further south on US 41 at the intersection with Coconut Road, Woodfield Estero is beginning to take shape. This development is on the northwest corner of that intersection. This project is a mixed major development of about 45 acres. Phase 1 has already begun with utilities, stormwater systems, grading, and landscaping in progress. When fully built out, plans include up to 596 residences, extensive retail and dining areas, office spaces, and a 260-room hotel. There will be a civic center in the center part or a community building, all connected by parks and plaza. The design will feature Spanish colonial revival elements with buildings ranging from 2 to 4 stories, a pedestrian-friendly restaurant now with parking hidden from you. A large preserved area buffers the west and north edges of that section. It is clearly on its way to becoming a place where you might eventually go for dinner, a stroll, or an event. Across from Genova on the west side of Via Coconut, there is a new 20-acre mixed-use development underway. This is south of Corkscrew Road on Via Coconut. When finished, it will feature about 330 apartments, nearly 30,000 square foot of retail space for shops, services, and restaurants, along with a 10,000 square foot church. The plan also includes a 1 acre public park which has been donated to the village, plus a dog park, lakes, a multi-used path, and a small fishing pier. It's expected to be finished and ready to enjoy in 2026. This season, construction will be visible on Via Coconut, revealing the early layout of what will become a walkable, Main Street style area serving nearby communities. Visitors, they will serve also visitors to the sports park and to Coconut Point. So here's an update on the sports park, the recreation area along Via Coconut to the south and east of the project I just talked about. The village of Estero is assembling about 100 acres into a large sports and recreation complex between Williams Road and Via Coconut. This includes land the village already owns, a long-term lease over 50 acres from Estero High School, and more than 25 acres that the village purchased from Lee County. An early key tenant is High Five Entertainment. They plan to include outdoor and indoor pickleball courts, bowling and duck pin lanes, 36 holes of mini golf, bocce, axe throwing, laser tag, an arcade, and a full-service restaurant and bar. The main entrance to the park will be Via Coconut, south of Corkscrew Road. This is going to change many of the traffic patterns into the site. The village anticipates about a 5-year construction timeline on this project, with a major milestone marked by High Five's expected opening in the fall of 2026. So during the season, you'll see extensive site work, emerging courts and fields, and an entrance off Via Coconut. It will appear busy and incomplete now, but it promises a full sports and entertainment district ahead. Going north from that site, on Via Coconut and back into the intersection with Corkscrew Road, you come to a stoplight. If you turn left at that stoplight on Corkscrew towards US 41, as you go along that road, look to your right or north of Corkscrew, and that's a 64-acre site owned by the village, which now officially will be called Estero River Park. Formerly, it was known as Estero on the River. A key decision has already been made about the 30 acres south of the Estero River, which is now permanently protected as an environmental land with no future commercial development allowed. Phase 1 focuses on creating a passive, natural park experience rather than a heavily built-up facility. There is an access drive and parking, about 85 spaces off Highlands Avenue. There will be an old Florida-style restroom building, a new bridge over the river, ADA accessible walking paths using porous materials, and decorative fencing along US 41 and Corkscrew. The southern portion is preserved with mature trees, wetlands, gopher, tortoise habitat, and an eagle nest. So you should expect a very natural Florida feel rather than a manicured city park. This year, you're likely to see work on parking, fencing, and the bridge, the early stages of a shaded, quiet place to walk, to bird watch, and briefly forget you're right next to one of the Estero's busiest intersections at the corner of US 41 and Corkscrew Road. Well, there's lots of construction and lots of growth that is continuing in Estero. Thank you for joining us this week at Estero Today. We hope you have found the information interesting and helpful. If so, please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You do that by clicking on the bell icon. And we encourage you to share this podcast with your friends. Comment below or email us with your ideas for future podcasts. Our email address is esterotoday. That's info@esterotoday.com. Info, I-N-F-O, @esterotoday.com. Produced by Engage Estero. This is your host, Mike Wasson, wishing you a good week and hoping you can join us next week for more news on Estero Today.